All right, it is time to talk about FlyQuest. Because to me, they're the most exciting team in the world. I know that may come off as strong. I know that might be a hot take to some people. I do watch other leagues. I'm not just an LCS viewer or just a FlyQuest fan. Because I am a FlyQuest fan. I won't deny that from you guys. But what I will say is that this team is super fun, man. And it is time that they get put on notice. They have a very, very important elimination game coming up this weekend against Team Liquid. But before we even talk about that, I just want to introduce you guys to the roster, just talk about exactly what the team looks like, because this is very different to international viewers. This is not the FlyQuest team that you have been used to for the last 2 years. This is a very different roster. Obviously, it has some components which are the same, but we need to go back to the beginning of the split, or even beginning of the year as a whole. Because last year at Worlds, this FlyQuest team failed miserably. To expectations, a lot of people expected them to make top 8 and be a quarterfinal team. Unfortunately, they kind of collapsed against G2, games 2 and 3. And then I think their mental just was gone. I think they absolutely mental boomed. CFO was a quick 2-0. And they got sent packing. And I knew there would be big changes. Obviously didn't expect half the roster to leave, but Bwipo, Inspired, both left as expected. The one guy I think they really wanted to keep was Busio. And I think us as FlyQuest fans, as NA fans, Busio leaving was a really, really heartbreaking moment. Because Busio was like the future of NA. This guy's like the best support in the West at the time. Like, he is on an insane level mechanically. He was one of the driving forces of the FlyQuest team. He was like only in his, I think, third year at the time. And he had so much more potential. Unfortunately, he decided to go to KC. And FlyQuest was just left with Quad and Masu. And while a lot of people were low on Quad and Masu, FlyQuest saw the potential in those two and what they had done for them in the past. And they surrounded those two with 3 really, really energetic rookies. Gakos, who was on the team last year for a little bit, subbing in for Bwipo at times. Griffin, who was on Loud last year. And Cryogen, who came from Tier 3 and jumped up to Tier 1 and is playing as a rookie right now in a second split. This is the FlyQuest roster right now. The start of Split 1 was pretty good. They kicked off with a 2-0 win against Shopify. Expectations were not that high, but this FlyQuest team was super fun to watch even back then itself, because they would fight absolutely everything. This team was so aggressive, and every game that they were playing in just turned out to be an absolute bloodbath of a game. Unfortunately, when playoffs rolled around, they got a little bit exposed. C9 and Lion both 3-0'd them, and they had to go back home and back to the drawing board. Start of Split 2, expectations were kind of low. People were talking about, how this team could be middle of the pack. I know some people even had this team finishing at the bottom. Not going to name names, but people did say that. And now we are here. And this team is 1 win away from being a top 3 team in the split in this playoffs and solidifying their place in Arizona for the finals weekend. And they are 2 wins away from making it to MSI with this roster that is on average the youngest roster by age in all of Tier 1. This team is absolutely a joy to watch, bro. They are so exciting as a group to watch. They have players who will absolutely hands check you at every given moment. And the biggest strength of this team is how connected and how decisive they are. They are so decisive and so creative. And if one person pulls the trigger, it looks like all 5 of them are just there. I mean, you can listen to the pros yourself, because here's Inspired and APA talking about how connected FlyQuest are and how annoying they are to play against.
FlyQuest, the most annoying team for me to play against. They're just not scared. They're going forward all the time, and it's very annoying. Playing against players like that.
I think as a team, they're really bought into their whole team idea right now, which is probably why we see them surging. Like, you see whenever Griffin has the angle, whether it's good or bad, his whole team's following up on that set angle.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into how exactly this team plays and how decisive they are, I do want to go through the roster and just give you an overview of each player and exactly what their strengths are as a player. Starting off in top lane, we have Gatkos. Many people might be familiar with the name Gatkos because last year, I believe, right after MSI, he joined the team. Didn't really play until Split 3. Had a couple games in Split 3 after the whole Bwipo situation, where he played Irelia, and he also played, I believe he played Rumble in a couple games as well. And Gatkos is a very, very mechanically talented player. I mean, this kid, when he joined, I believe he was only 17. He hadn't even finished high school yet. And this year was his full, I guess, start or debut year as a LCS top laner. And he has looked really good to the point where he just earned 3rd team All-Pro in Split 2. So he's been looking really good for FlyQuest. Some of the strengths of Gatkos, like I said, really, really good mechanically. He will win almost every lane. Like in lane, Gatkos is a demon. You can, ask whichever top laner you want. I believe Impact even talked about it briefly, about how in lane Gatkos is really good. Now, there is a narrative that has been pushed out by a lot of the media talking about how his tank play has not been that great. I think it's only one champion where I think it's kind of been shaky on, and that's Sion, where he's played 6 games, he's lost 5 of them on Sion. He hasn't looked the best on Sion, but K'Sante, he looks really good on. I mean, I think K'Sante is one of his best champs, and that is a tank, quote unquote. He has a 100% win rate on Yorick. He's only played Ornn twice, and he's looked okay on both. I don't think he's been shaky on Ornn. Apart from that, he's only been playing carries. He plays Jace a lot. He loves to play Jace. That is his most played, apart from K'Sante. He loves to play Rumble as well. Rumble and Jace are his most played alongside Sion, right behind the K'Sante. Mbessa is also a champion he likes to play a lot too. Obviously, Mbessa has received some nerfs with her ult casting time, so I don't really know if Mbessa is going to be getting played too much in the future. But these are some of the champs he will play. He will play things like Gnar. He's also pulled out some really spicy picks. I believe in Split 1, he pulled out Aurora. He played Akali in Split 2 pretty recently against Cloud9. He's played things like Gwen. He's played things like Quinn. Anivia, he's played twice. I think I already mentioned that. So Gatkos is a very, very wide champ pool, and his signature pick is actually the Irelia. That's what he was kind of known for coming into FlyQuest. Is he loves to play Irelia. That's his favorite champ to play. He plays Yasuo as well in solo queue. That's also a champ he likes to play too. So Gatkos, you can kind of get the picture. This guy, super mechanically good. Some things I want him to work on is his team fighting. I think if he's able to team fight, especially on things like a Sion, when you kind of need to be in the right position or peel for your carry, you just know his job in team fights. He's very good at finding angles. I will be showing you clips of FlyQuest after this, but there is a clip in there where he teleports his Rumble and kind of just wins FlyQuest the game in game 1 against Sentinels, because that game was actually going to be a losing. It was in a losing state until he did that TP flank his Rumble and caught the Jhin. So his team fighting has improved, but that's something that I think is, he will say himself, I think it's his not his biggest weakness, but something that he will want to improve on going forward is his team fighting. But I think Gatkos is a super exciting player, and someone that I don't really think gets the credit he deserves. I think a lot of people talk about Griffin and Masu, but Gatkos really, really solid for this team. Next we have Griffin. Now Griffin is you can pretty much say he is the engine of the team. Now the team will go as he goes. This guy is probably the most outspoken player in the LCS. He is the loudest player in the LCS by far. He is the most fun player in the LCS. He will have zero filter with what he says. He will also have zero filter with what he picks. I mean, the way he is kind of resembles the way he plays, if you kind of know who Griffin is. This guy is crazy. And the way he plays is also crazy. Some of the champs that this guy is picking is downright unheard of. He is picking Nasus jungle in professional League of Legends games and is 3-0 with a 47 KDA on it. Ridiculous. Shyvana jungle he has picked. Shen jungle he loves. The thing about Griffin, and you will see if you listen to Griffin's interviews, he talks about how there's so many champs in the game. So to him, it's impossible for there to be only like a certain amount of junglers that are in the meta. Like, I know a lot of people right now are playing the AD junglers, the junglers that build Sundered Sky, like, you know, Pantheon, Wukong, Jarvan, Xin Lee Sin, whoever, right? All these AD junglers. Nafiri, I know she doesn't build Sundered Sky, but, you know, AD junglers. A lot of these AD carry junglers are what people are playing nowadays. Not many people are really playing tank. Not really many people are playing AP. And not many people are really like exploring their options apart from playing these like set amount of like 6 to 8 champs. But Griffin is different. This guy doesn't care about your meta reads. He doesn't care about what you think is OP right now. He has his own meta read. And that's why I love him as a player, because he will have specific matchups that he will pick stuff into. Whenever Vi is picked, you will see a Shen. You know? You will see Shyvana in a good angle. You will see Nasus in a good angle. You will see Mundo. You will see Nocturne. You will see Trundle. You'll see Ambessa. Ambessa was actually his signature before, you know, Split 2. Obviously, like I said, with Gakkos as well, with Ambessa being nerfed, I don't really think Ambessa is going to get picked that much. But Ambessa is also one of his signature picks as well. Like, he will play whatever he wants. And he is like the wild card of the team, because you never know what you're going to get from Griffin. Like, sometimes he will look like the worst player on the Rift, and that was in Split 1 mostly, when he was absolutely running it down for Krabs. But since then, I haven't really seen that out of Griffin. I think he's been a lot more disciplined actually with how he's been playing, but still keeping that crazy edge to him. And that's why he's been so strong in these playoffs so far, and why Split 2 has gone so much better for him. So that is Griffin. He is the engine of FlyQuest. Then you have Quad. The next two players, Quad and Masu, are going to be players that you guys are pretty much familiar with. Quad is a player that has been around FlyQuest for a couple years now. And Quad is the rock of the team. He is the stable, you know, ever so reliable, you know, player on this team. Like, when everything fails, you look to Quad and you see that he's fine. That's just what I think when I look at Quad. Like, Quad, you're never going to get him dropping 20 kills in a game, but you're never going to get him dropping 20 deaths in a game. Like, this guy will be a stable, consistent, disciplined player no matter what. I believe even on pros they were talking about how disciplined Quad is as a player and how he's just solid at everything. Like, this guy is as solid as they come as a player. And I think a lot of people will actually like not really give Quad the credit. And it's kind of disappointing to me, because I think that Quad, even though he's not a flashy player, he's not like as flashy as a Quid or a Saint. He doesn't have like the level of crazy plays that they might have at times. But I think there is something to be appreciated of when you are a consistent, solid rock of a player. And when that everything fails, you can look to your right and left, you can see Quad, and you can just be so sure that this guy will be completely fine in the game. He will very rarely have games where he is running it down completely or being the reason that the team loses. You know, this is Quad's MO. And his champ pool also supports how he plays. It's pretty much all control mages. I mean, he plays pretty much every control mage in the game. His best pick is obviously his Cassiopeia. I mean, Quad's Cassio is... You shouldn't give him that pick, man. Because Quad's Cassio is different. His Cassio is really good. But apart from Cassio, he plays Orianna, he plays Syndra, he plays Ryze, he plays Talia, he plays Anivia. He even plays some of the playmaking mages like Aurora, Annie, Ahri, TF. He loves playing Victor. He loves playing Hui. He can play Azir really well. He's pulled out the Xerath. He can play a lot of these champs really well, man. This is Quad. The one melee champ he's picked this split has been Sylas. I think he also picked Akali last split. He looked pretty good on it. So I think Sylas and Akali is pretty strong for Quad as well. But apart from those two, it's all mages. And that's completely fine because we're in a mage meta right now. And I think this is great for Quad. I think it's very difficult to punish Quad in FlyQuest games because he will make sure that he's not doing anything stupid. And Quad being this disciplined player kind of gives the license to Masu Griffin, Gakkos, Cryogen. These guys can play as aggressive as they want because they know that Quad will not int. They know that he will be safe. They know that, you know, if Quad is weak side, he will make sure he's not getting, you know, dove under turret, or he's not, you know, greeting for plates or waves. He will make sure that he's safe at all times. That is Quad. So yeah, I think Quad should be appreciated more. I think he deserves to get his flowers. I know that he might not be the most flashy player to people, but he is the rock of FlyQuest, undoubtedly. And then you have Masu. Masu is a player that a lot of people kind of saw in 2024 Worlds, where he kind of popped off in that Gen G series, and even before that, he had a great Worlds before that as well. Last year, people will say it was a down year for Masu. I don't really think so. I think FlyQuest playstyle last year was just not, you know, something that highlighted Masu as a carry. Like, Bwipo and Inspired were like the carries of the team, and Busio was going to support them. Like, that team last year was a very top side heavy focused team, and Masu was kind of just told to play weak side, do his job well, you know, play a facilitating AD carry like a Jhin or a Corki, and not really like play a hyper carry. You know, he wasn't really playing a lot of hyper carry last year. He was playing Inara at times, but like, he was playing a lot of stacking champs. He was playing a lot of champs that were like, you know, stable, safe. Like, Masu was, you know, told to do a job last year, which is why I don't think he was like, people will look at last year and be like, oh, it was a down year for Masu, but I just don't think so. I think Masu was fine last year, you know, but I think Masu is playing at his best this year, because when Masu is aggressive, he's a different beast. Different beast, man. This FlyQuest bottom lane has racked up the most solo kills out of any bottom lane in the LCS. And Masu will push his limits. He will play aggressive. I mean, this guy will look like he's one of the best AD carries in the world sometimes. Like, that's just what he looked like, you know? There were games against Sentinels last weekend where he was diving Rahel under his turret and killing him. Like, he just has this level of aggression. And when he pulls it out, and when he's able to play to this level of aggression, and when he's able to test his limits and push the edges and play to his, you know, win cons and min-max every single CS, every single trade, stat check and hands check every single opponent, that is Masu at his best. And don't give this guy Lucian. I know he's only played it 3 times this split, but his Lucian is different. Masu, he's back, man. I know a lot of people might have thought that last year was a down year and this, that. I actually thought, and if you ask Masu himself, he will tell you that last year, he was working on his game understanding a lot more than his hands. But I think now, he has both the hands and the game understanding, and he's such a complete player now. And his leadership has improved too, so he's one of the big voices of the team. Last year, you could not say that about Masu, so I'm super proud of him for that. You know, I think at times you'll catch Masu just like going for a crazy trade and sometimes inting, but that's just who he is, man. He'll push his limits, man. That's just what Masu is. You gotta love him for that. You gotta love this whole team for that as well. Then you have Cryogen, last but not least. And Cryogen was pretty much the unknown commodity when this team kind of formed together. I mean, this player was a player who played in Tier 3, Maryville University. He didn't really like have... He wasn't really like a name that a lot of people had on their radar when it came to FlyQuest. Busio leaving was kind of unexpected. And they had tryouts for their support position, and Cryogen won the spot. And it's easy to see why. I mean, mechanically, this guy is really good. I think Cryogen, this split, has kind of been the unsung hero of the team. You know, their lane phase FlyQuest has been almost always winning. Like, I haven't really seen them lose lanes, to be honest, that much. Like, there's some lanes where they'll misplay at times, but most of the time, FlyQuest lanes are always winning. Like, their bottom lanes, they're always winning. And he's playing all types of champs. He's playing the enchanters like Nami and Seraphine and Karma and Milio. He's also playing engaged supports like Nautilus and Nico. He's playing stuff like Bard. He's playing stuff like Renata. He's playing Lulu. Like, he's playing a lot of different champs. I know people think that he's probably like really, really good on enchanters and not that good on engaged supports, but I don't really agree. I think we haven't really seen him play that many engaged supports because this is an enchanter meta. Like, he's played Nico and he's played Nautilus. He had one really bad Nico game, but apart from that, I think his Nico games have been okay. I think his Nautilus games have been good. You know, I think in Split 1 he played Alistar. He didn't really look good in Split 1 on Alistar. But again, I just don't think it was the meta. I don't think it suited the meta to playing Alistar at that time. I think Alistar is not a pick that's like commonly picked, you know, in game 1s or 2s or 3s. Like it's a game 4 or 5 pick. And I think he's very capable of playing stuff like Rakan and Alistar. I don't think he's bad on any of these engaged supports. I just think that right now, the meta is Enchanters, and he's playing what the meta is. And he's a very stable player, man. I think a lot of people are very surprised. We're very surprised with Cryogen. The one thing I do want to have him improve on, and I think this will come with time, is like some of his warding habits or, you know, his game understanding. And just because he's a rookie, like sometimes he will get caught a lot when trying to go ward or trying to go like, you know, cross river or clear vision. He'll get caught because there'll be a trap waiting for him and he won't know. But again, this guy's like a true rookie. Like Gyakos and Griffin had some experience. He has had 0 experience in tier 1. This is his first season ever and he's doing great. So very excited for his future as well. Super excited for Cryogen. So that is the overview of the whole team. I do want to go over one game. I could go over like 10 games for this FlyQuest team, honestly, but I just want to go over the game against Sentinels that they had last weekend because it's the most recent series that they played. And I think game 1 was a really, really good example of exactly how creative and how connected this team is. I will show you guys a sequence from minute 26, I believe, to like minute 38. And just run through exactly how creative this team is and how they found their way back into this game, because at 26 minutes, this game was very Sentinels favored. So as you guys can see, it is 26 minutes. There are 3 minutes and 45 seconds for the next Drake. So there's not really any objectives here. You can see FlyQuest is all pinging this bush because they just saw Impact. You know, Cryogen just saw Impact walking over here into this bush. So they're pinging the bush. They see Impact there. Quad is coming out of base. Gyakos is pushing away of top lane. And immediately, this is what they do. You know, they realize, you know what? We're down 3 Drakes. Ryze is up 1.2k here. I mean, every lane for Sentinels is winning. Gyakos is at 800 gold lead, but he's playing Rumble with first strike. So his gold lead is pretty much fake. You know, the Ornn is completely fine in the game. But this is what FlyQuest will do. You'll see FlyQuest is running. They're running up. And immediately, Griffin will drive past this brush. He will see Impact. And then you see the TF ult is coming out. As soon as the TF ult comes out, look at the minimap right now. Rumble TPs. Sentinels doesn't even know what's going on. They have 2 people bot lane. And FlyQuest just full send it on their whole team. Like, TF ults. Gyakos is TPing on a flank ward. And they get Hui's flash. They get Hui's ult, and then immediately, what you see right here from Griffin, flash ult onto Impact. It is very rare that someone will just go for a flash ult on an Ornn as a Skarner in minute 26 of a game that has like no like dragon spawning for another 3.5 minutes, and with like just like 10 seconds ago, TF was coming out of base and Rumble was pushing wave, and they just fast play call onto this Ornn, stun him into the wall. Ornn flashes, so they see Ornn has no flash, right? Great. Let's just go on the Ornn, full send, and you can see 4 people on FlyQuest is on top of this guy. Ornn is obviously a tank, so he'll take a while to kill. Hui ends up, you know, having to flash out, and Impact is basically by himself, and it's a pick for FlyQuest. Great. They also get Ryze ult. So they see Ryze has no ult. Great. You know what they do now? On to Baron. Ryze is no ult. Nautilus no flash, no ult. Impact is dead for 46 seconds. It's Baron time. And Sentinels will see them, but it doesn't matter because FlyQuest are so committed to this Baron that they will just go. And they're hitting the Baron, clearing vision, blah, blah, blah. You can see Sentinels don't know. I mean, they know that they're on the Baron, but they don't really have vision on them. And now what they see is Rahel is ulting, so Jhin is ulting, so now they have to block for the Jhin ult. Dark Wings is marking Rumble. Hui is on a ward. Hambak is trying to get into the pit. Baron's at 12k. And FlyQuest is like slowly hitting it, slowly DPSing it. Jhin ult is over. Now it's at 9k. But look what happens now. They're poking out Hui. And immediately Quad walks up. He sees Dark Wings get into this bush. Gold card. Stun. As soon as he stuns Darkwings, leave the Baron. All 5 of them converge on this Rise. They know he's the carry. 1.2k gold up this Rise is. So this is a massive shutdown. He flashes away from the Rumble ult. Cryogen dies, but they kill Rise. Great. Griffin will also die in the process, but they will trade him for Hambach. You'll see Impacts coming back for a TP. Who he ints it, he will hook. And yeah, now they've killed off 3 people here. Now I think they could have played the rest of the fight better. I think Masu will int here a little bit. Quad will flash. But I think Masu, you'll see Ornn is about to ult right now. You should hold your E if you're Ezreal for the second cast of the Ornn ult. But he E's way too early and he gets hit by the Ornn ult. He has no flash, so he's basically dead. So it ends up being, you know, a pretty even trade of kills. But FlyQuest ends up getting the goal lead because they kill Rise and get a massive shutdown on this guy. So then what happens? You know, we're going replay. All right. Now what happens? Drake is about to spawn. It's Sentinel's soul. So it's a soul for Sentinels, and FlyQuest has like 0 vision. Like they have this one ward right here. Like 10 seconds, the soul is spawning for Sentinels. They have one ward right here, but apart from that, they don't see anyone on Sentinels. And you'll see the observer, I think, will toggle at some point. Hambach is already queuing into the pit. He's trying to hit the dragon. And yeah, the dragon's already being hit. It's being started up. And look at where FlyQuest is. They're not even like anywhere like in the vicinity. Like they're in this bush. Gyakos is here. Quad is here. He's trying to find a TF ult. And you'll see 0 vision, right? They can't get in because there's probably guys here. There's probably guys here. Rahel is showing here. Hambach's in the pit. They have no vision. This is FlyQuest perspective right now. But look what they do. Immediately, TF ult comes out from Quad for vision. So he will use Destiny for vision. And he will ult. Where does he ult? He ults to the side right here. Right here he will ult. And then Gyakos will TP down here. So, obviously, they will see. They not only will they use the TF ult for vision, they see Jhin right here. Jhin is in the river. So they see Jhin. They're like, you know what? Jhin is by himself right here. Like he only has 2 people around him. And he is not near like any escape point. He has flash, but we can pincer this guy. So Quad will go from behind. They're on a pincer here. Gyakos will go here. Quad, you know, immediately, obviously, you'll see like Rumble will ult on top of like 4 people. So Rumble ult is huge. You know, massive Rumble ult. He will ult on the Jhin. Quad will try to gold card the Jhin, but Impact will peel. But it doesn't matter because Gyakos will flash and Griffin will Skarner ult this Jhin. So boom, flash E from Gyakos, Skarner ult, dead. Jhin is dead. Free Drake for FlyQuest. Like immediately, their decisiveness is so impressive as a young team. Like they're just on flanks, just coordinating these type of plays. And they have to Rise ult out. And now they see Jhin is dead. So what do? It's Baron time. Now Jhin is up in 10 seconds, but they don't care. FlyQuest has this Baron to 6k. But what happens? They find Rise again. Get off the Baron, turn onto the Rise. I mean, it's like the same play as the first Baron. They see Rise, kill the Rise. Right? So now it becomes, you know, a 4v5 still because Jhin spawns, but then Rise is dead. So now they're what? They go back to the Baron again. And obviously this is the replay of the fight. Cool, they're on the Baron. And Rise is still dead, right? You know, he obviously has no TP. He has ult, but he has no TP. But then they see Lee Sin. Lee Sin's like hovering around. Let's gold card this Lee Sin. Let's TF ult this guy. Quad will look at him. He'll see him, spot him with his ult. Immediately onto the Lee Sin. Lee Sin will flash. Rumble ult, Ezreal ult, dead. Like so decisive from FlyQuest, man. So decisive. And Quad knows there's a Rise ult coming to him. TP's out. Like, actually, I said 38 minutes, but in the span of 6 minutes, because it was 26 minutes. Now it's 32 minutes. They're up 5k gold, FlyQuest. Just from their decisiveness. And you'll see, like, obviously this game will end. Like, they're pushing bot, and like immediately they'll get this bot turret. And what happens? I think Griffin will get rooted up. He has protoplasm, so he's fine. He will heal up. Impact has to flash. Cool. Now what happens? Masu gets rooted. Hambach will go kick him. But it doesn't matter. Like, FlyQuest is too far ahead at this point. They killed 2 off Gakko stopwatches, and look what FlyQuest do. Look what this is so funny to me. This is like FlyQuest in a nutshell. Like, how many flashes do you see right here? Flash, flash, flash. Like, everyone is flashing forward. like the whole team just flashed in like the moment of like 2 seconds. Like, killer instinct from this team, man. That's why I love this team. They're so fun to watch. Like, within the span, I said 38 minutes, 34 minutes, they're ending the game. 26 minutes, Sentinels had sole point and they were up 2K. Like, that is just an embodiment of this FlyQuest team, man. Like, that is just what this team is. And look at them on the player cams. Hyped. Like, look at these guys. Like, how can you not love them, bro? Such a fun team to watch. That is just an example of how fun this team is to watch, bro. This team is super, super fun to watch. I'm sure you guys will see more of them as the months go by. You know, they have a very, very important best of 5 against Team Liquid tomorrow. So if you guys are not regular LCS, you know, watchers or whatnot, please tune in for this game, bro. This game is going to be a must-watch game because FlyQuest, they're on the rise. Now, they might lose tomorrow's game. I'm not going to say they're going to definitely win. I think they will win because they're on the rise right now, and I do, you know, buy into this run that they're having. But they could very well lose because Team Liquid is a very good team. But regardless of whether they win or lose, I think they should already be really proud of what they have achieved so far this split because no one really expected them to be this good already. Like, this team was supposed to be good when it came to like split 3, like close to Worlds time. Like, we're already near MSI and this team is already like contesting every team in the region. Like, I don't really think there's a gap between FlyQuest and any of the other LCS teams. Like, there's not really a big gap between FlyQuest or Lion or FlyQuest or C9 or FlyQuest or TL. Like, this team is right there. And what is so exciting is that they're so young and their ceiling is going to be ridiculously high because this is not anywhere near FlyQuest ceiling, by the way. They're in their second split together as a team at the age of 20 years old on average. Do you know how insane this team will be in split 3? I guess you just have to wait and watch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Obviously everyone will be new. What am I saying? But subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your thoughts and your predictions for tomorrow's game. And as always, let's go FlyQuest.